What phrase do you absolutely hate? Please listen closely as our menu options have changed. And go. When asking for suggestions on social media, like we are all just on the edge of our seats waiting. I also had a friend on social media that would type out some long ass string of thoughts and then would say, discuss. Am I the only one? Insert pro-con generic opinion or idea. 7 billion people on this planet. There are literally people having sex with car exhaust pipes. No, you aren't the only one. Am I the only one who just loves puppies? Yep. Just you. Don't talk back to me. That's what my dad says to me every ducking time. When we argue he doesn't even hear my side of story, my opinions don't even matter. I try to have an open mind every time I talk to him. But shit, I just space out. Teachers in school used to say don't be smart or don't be clever when someone came up with a good comeback. Like what kind of message is that in a school? Then I guess I don't have to come to school anymore. Kicks door open and leaves. It is wherever you left it. No kidding. Not even true. I love with 3 teens and 2 dogs. Where I left is probably not where it will be. Please stop loving them or you'll end up in jail. Regarding your last 7 tax returns. Your tax returns are full of crepances. Everything is perfectly in order. I'm very gruntled to hear that. Consider me combobulated. Positive vibes only. Bitch, I'm sad. I can't keep up with janky go-getter types. Edit just to let folks know I'm okay. I really appreciate everybody that reached out. I'm okay and just going day by day 3. As someone recently single and just seeing what the dating scene is going to be like when I'm ready. I see this on dating profiles too much, and man, I can't have positive vibes 24/7. I'm a human with feelings, ladies. How about positive vibes? Usually, but we just comfort each other when vibes aren't as positive. You can't always have positive vibes either, right? Break the internet. It's so stupidly meaningless. If I can read a gossip rag story about a random, uninspiring photo breaking the internet, then guess what? Mission failed. See also make this go viral. As of the past year, we are all in this together. Excuse me. No, we are ducking not. In these unprecedented times. In these unprecedented times. Your call is important to us. But we can't be bothered to answer your call. I'll probably get downvoted for this. Unpopular opinion. But, am I the only one who? Why did this get down votes? Underrated comment. Because I said so. Call me a spoiled brat if you want. But my parents used to say shit like this and it really did annoy the crap out of me. How was I supposed to learn from my mistakes if you don't even tell me why you're punishing me in the first place? Or if I'm asking for something that I want and you say no. If you provide an actual reasonable explanation, I might actually understand. But if you say, because I said so, of course I'm gonna get upset cause it just seems to me like you're being a dick, lol. Why are you still talking about it? Usually said by someone who you let say their side of the argument, and instead of hearing yours, has opted to go this route. Irritating because if you do this, both parties come out learning and improving absolutely nothing. I had a friend that would say I'm over it. Drove me crazy. Cool. I'm not. And I'd like to talk about it. It's in the past. Yes. But my feelings regarding it are very much present. That's why you get paid the big bucks. I think it's funny, but my old boss hated that phrase cause it kept him accountable for doing actual work. I have to say this all the time at work. I'm just there to help, they're the ones doing the actual work. I do the same thing. The good news is that the skilled people I manage actually do make more money than me. So I don't sound like a sarcastic bitch. When they need my help and I provide it, they hit me back with the same phrase. And that hurts the old feelings a bit. Fruit of my loins. Oh. It's all in your head. The best response I ever heard to that was yeah, no shit. Where else would it be? My ass. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Sometimes it's true. Other times what doesn't kill you leaves you paralyzed and traumatized. What doesn't kill you makes you wish you were dead. There's a hole in my heart getting deeper and deeper. That's the way we've always done things. That kind of mentality leaves no room for growth or change. My go-to answer to that is yeah. If everybody did that, we'd still live in caves. Many were increasingly of the opinion that they'd all made a big mistake in coming down from the trees in the first place. And some said that even the trees had been a bad move, and that no one should ever have left the oceans. Douglas Adams. I don't want to hear excuses. This is usually said by a manager who asked for reasons why something wasn't done, is given a perfectly reasonable explanation, and doesn't want to address the underlying issues behind that explanation. I feel like most people really struggle to understand the difference between explaining why something happened and making an excuse for the situation. What's infuriating is when someone demands an explanation, then immediately goes to, "That's just an excuse. Oh right. Sorry. I thought you actually wanted to know what was going through my head. I forgot the only acceptable answer was, because I'm a lazy piece of shit." Cheaters never prosper. That phrase is so inaccurate today. Or hard work leads to success. Some of the most hard-working people I met have been poor for decades. We rarely hear the stories of people who worked there, but for whatever reason failed to succeed. Survivor bias is a real thing. You can see it on Reddit occasionally. There are people who kept moving up the ladder financially and are extremely disdainful to anyone else not able or willing to do the same. The most famous example of survivorship bias dates back to World War II. At the time, the American military asked mathematician Abraham Wald to study how best to protect airplanes from being shot down. The military knew armor would help, but couldn't protect the whole plane, or would be too heavy to fly well. Initially, their plan had been to examine the planes returning from combat, see where they were hit the worst, the wings, around the tail gunner, and down the center of the body, and then reinforce those areas. But Wald realized they had fallen prey to survivorship bias, because their analysis was missing a valuable part of the picture: the planes that were hit, but that hadn't made it back. As a result, the military were planning to armor precisely the wrong parts of the planes. The bullet holes they were looking at actually indicated the areas a plane could be hit, and keep flying exactly the areas that didn't need reinforcing. Link. OMG, they're such a insert zodiac sign. That is so like them. Spoken like a true cynical Capricorn. That's dumb. And I know that, because I got INTJ on my Bristol Myers Squibb test. Back in the day, when I used to work retail, without fail a customer, usually an older guy, would walk in and greet me with "working hard" or "hardly working." They would chuckle to themselves like they just dropped the most clever pun that I'd ever heard, not knowing I hear it from multiple customers every day. I worked at a grocery store and would ask people of, "Is there anything else I can get for you today?" when I didn't feel like saying the full line of "Do you need ice, stamps, or anything else today?" Every day someone would reply the winning lottery numbers and assume they're so damn clever for such a response. I would still get it when I said the second thing, as it does include the phrase, but not nearly as often. I even one time had a higher up manager say this to me when he went through my line, despite knowing that is something we should be asking. "Item doesn't ring up. Must be free." Chuckle chuckle. My reply to this lately has been, "Yeah, you're right, but I'm going to have to charge you for using that joke." I could care less. When I was younger I was pretty confused by this phrase. Shouldn't it be "I couldn't care less"? Saying "I could care less" implies that you're not at your full potential of not giving a shit. But if you say "I couldn't care less," it implies that you are at that point of not giving any shits. You are right. It is supposed to be "I couldn't care less," but many people mix it up. I sometimes call it out to people, but many times I couldn't care less. Do what you love, and the money will follow. I like sitting on my ass and watching TV, but that ain't paying the bills. Yeah, this is bollocks. I love the gym. My passion is strength and fitness. Making a salary that even remotely acceptable in that industry is almost impossible. Instead I do a well-paid job from home with flexibility in a different industry, and I can then buy all the gym equipment I want and use it when I want. Sometimes though there is a beauty in having a hobby apart from your work. As a musician, I quit my pursuit of wanting to become a session musician pretty quickly once I turned 19 for the same reasons. Difficult to make serious money. It caused me to go on a 5-year hiatus from playing at the level I once did. Now, like you, I have a career in a different field and I've rediscovered the joy of playing. There is nothing stressful bearing down on me. It's purely for my enjoyment. And to be honest, that has been big for my mental health. It's a part of my life where I am totally in control of my progress, so to speak. Do I wanna play with other musicians? Sure, but on my own time. Loving this thread. Happy Friday. This is a great thread because I'm the opposite. I stuck with music. Have been very successful with it, record producer, but I no longer have a love for music. I love basketball, making YouTube tutorials, and building mechanical keyboards. Eventually, everything becomes a job and it no longer becomes a passion. To be fair, it took me about 30+ years in the business to become completely over it. As a mother, the only disability is a bad attitude. Duck no. Spinner bifida and a multitude of other things is 100% a disability. Stupid inspirational porn. The only disability is a bad attitude. Yeah, okay, but I still can't ducking walk. Not with that attitude anyway. Do your research. God, that phrase triggers me. It's my dad's go-to for literally everything. And of course, doing my research to clearly show him that he is wrong about even the most objective things, like literally the price of a car or something, will have him acting like I've totally misconstrued what he said. That I'm taking things completely out of context, and lo and behold, I'm exactly the idiot he thinks I am. These days, do your own research means get online and find anything to back up your opinion. Stay mad. It's the worst comeback ever. Stay mad, kid, and you can't even say I'm not even mad, cause then you sound 11 years old. I've never thought of a good response to this. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I get it. But this is the line that makes my kids, well, just my daughter, really stop and think. She can deal with mom being mad, but being actually disappointed in what she did, that one hits home. My son, on the other hand, he gives zero ducks either way. Money doesn't buy happiness. I just want to be rich enough to make my own decision on this one. I'm not rude, I'm just honest. You can be honest without being an asshole, Becky. Honesty without tact is cruelty. Kristen Bell's therapist. Edit failed on writing her name correctly. Sorry. Not sure if this is exactly relevant, but I cannot stand the phrasing of modern political headlines that follow this formula. Person blasts person over their stance on subject. Person slams person on their stance with subject. Person destroys person over thing. Like, I get with American politics everything is so trivialized and dumbed down that the entire political landscape is reduced to a team sports mentality. But I wish we would just move to something more creative aside from these few terms that are recycled endlessly. I wanna start see headlines like Biden suplexes Manchin over his hesitation of the reconciliation package. Trump haymakers Rubio over his stance on Florida's schools. Pelosi punches a hole through Mitch McConnell's face over his obstructionist policy. Ick now. Give me some entertaining visuals as our country flounders and sinks into the earth. Blood is thicker than water. Nobody has ducked me over more than blood relatives. I mean this financially, mentally, and for about 5 years. Physically. Edit. 1 RIP my inbox. 2 thank you kind strangers. 3 I'm aware of what the actual saying is. However, that is not how it is used today. My response was specifically aimed at the saying and its current use. I usually respond with maple syrup is thicker than both. That's why I prefer pancakes, and that usually gets them mad. Not to be rude, but other people have it worse. Thank you for invalidating my struggle. Oh my god, I hate this. I will never be a malnourished orphan child in a desertic country. Does that mean I cannot be sad? Ever? Tell that malnourished orphan the other malnourished orphan who's also infected with guinea worm has it worse. If it's meant to be, it will be. Ex-boyfriend of a 3 years relationship breaking up over the phone. The customer is always right. Whoever invented that phrase needed to be shot. I didn't ask, nobody asked. Look at that little midget. For context, I have dwarfism. For all intensive purposes. It's for all intents and purposes, but everyone says it's wrong. Failure is not an option. Failure is always an option. And sometimes failing is how we get better. It's God's plan. God works in mysterious ways. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. People that believe this are often just shitty people in general with zero self-awareness. Edit. I'm seeing several comments in here with a rebuttal that literally no one says this. On the contrary, this attitude is very prominent in social media. That attitude being, I'm who I am, and people can deal with it. And if they don't like it, duck them with no introspection or willingness to grow. This quote may not be used directly, but similar quotes and memes float all over that convey the same message. And that message is good on the surface, but often used as a scapegoat to be an asshole. This quote is just the most well-known example.